Hey guys, today we've got another brawler guide, this time for Max. Fun brawler and also pretty good right now. Comment what brawler you want to see me make a guide for next, and whichever one gets the most likes, I will do a guide for that brawler. Alright, so for her build, you want to be using the Phase Shifter gadget, one of the best gadgets in the game, and I would use the supercharged star power. It doesn't seem like it's that good, but over time it's probably going to get you a whole extra super throughout the game, and it's very good in passive modes like knockout where you're not able to get as much damage. Honestly, a lot of the gears are very good for Max. If you're more of a passive player, I would go shield health. Health is a pretty underrated gear. If you have more of an aggressive playstyle, I would go damage gear and gadget gear so you can dash in more and make more plays. As for the modes that Max is good at, she's great in gem grab as the gem carrier, also good in brawl ball. The speed is so good for getting a goal, whether it's you scoring or your teammates. Knockout, if you use your speed in the end game when the storm's very closed, it's almost a free win depending on what brawlers you have. If you have a buster or another tank or something aggressive, speed's pretty much going to get you the win. I mean, I think she's playable in pretty much all the modes. Just depending on the comps, she can be used in Heist, she can definitely be used in Bounty, and Hot Zone's playable as well. I would say those other three are the best, but if you want to play her in the other modes because you like them more, she's not bad there. The maps you want to play her on are any ones that are mid to long range, because even on long range, the speed's going to help you close the gap on the snipers, and the snipers, most long range brawlers are not good against aggressive and speed, so it's going to be usable on those as well. Mid range is probably best. And close range is usable if there's an open mid or an open lane you can go on. Like Sneaky Fields is obviously a very close range map, but you can play Max mid because it's an open mid, and she does have good scouting with vision gear. The best matchups for Max are going to be aim brawlers like Nani, like Brock, who don't have easy shots to hit, and if you speed up, if you have half decent movement, they should be free kills. Also weak defense, things like throwers are not very good because Squeak, something like that, not a lot of damage, no defense, no knockback, because the speed, it's going to help you and your team just run them down. As for bad matchups, more defensive brawlers like Gale is good against Max because he can slow Max constantly and push away when you use your speed, completely wasting your super. And more aggressive brawlers as well. Max can't really deal with brawlers like Buster, Jackie, Rosa, because even though she outranges them, they're going to be able to push up, and she doesn't have the long-term DPS to kill them. Good pairings you're going to want to use if you're playing with your friends and you want to make a comp for pushing trophies, or if you're drafting in ranked. She's very good with tanks or support brawlers, so if you've got like a Buster, Max Buster is really good. Any brawler that struggles to push up, if you pair it with the max speed, it fully takes that weakness away, and you mostly win. It's also good with like Poco. If you go Poco Max in a tank, that's a pretty much unstoppable comp because you've got speed, you've got heals, you got everything you need. For Max's main attack, it's not super complicated to try and hit the shots. There's nothing too special. 2 of the shots will come out in the middle of the attack and then 1 on each side, so just aim in the middle of your like aim symbol and that's what should be hitting the shots. Obviously do everything you do with any brawler that you have to aim with. Try and lead them where they're going and read their movement. Don't auto aim at long range. And then you can strafe sort of with Max. She has a pretty quick unload speed of the bullets, so it's not going to be like Colt or Rico where you can strafe the bullets like a whole tile or even more than that. But if you do move right or left while shooting, the bullets are going to move slightly right or left as they come out. So if the enemy is moving to the right, you want to also move to the right with them, try and match their movement pattern. I wouldn't prioritize that over dodging shots, but obviously if they don't have ammo or you're facing like a tank who you're outranging, you definitely want to do that to hit all of your bullets. If you're trying to aim and fight around walls, make sure you're not like fully taking your attack symbol away from the wall, because if you do that, then it's going to send it's only going to put the leftmost or the rightmost bullet along the wall, and the other 3 are just going to completely miss them. Just align the middle with the wall, and that way the 2 bullets that come out there, and depending how much they peek out, maybe the 3rd one is going to hit them. So don't aim the corner at it, just aim the middle. Max's super is arguably one of the best in the game, if not the best. If you're using it, always try and use it on your full team, because everyone who gets a speed boost is going to be crazy buffed. It's pretty insane. You can get any sort of goal, objective, team wipe off of a speed, so try and give it to your whole team if possible. if you're trying to use it quickly, there's not a lot of time left and you have to make a play, you can reach your teammates a little bit, like a second after you pop the super. It'll sort of have the effect up for like 1 second, so you can pop it on one teammate and try and run to the other teammate, and it sometimes works. It's not like super applicable in every scenario, but it is better if you don't want to stand around waiting for your team to fully group up. Max's gadget is one of the most important parts of our build. In general, you just want to use it to dodge one shot, maybe two, or you can use it to get out of a scenario or get into a scenario, but most commonly you're going to use it for a kill, especially if you've got gadget gear on. And depending on the game mode, one gadget for a kill is not a bad trade, like especially in something like knockout or bounty where one kill is very important. I wouldn't be dashing for like a tiny kill in brawl ball unless you're like losing and you need to win your lane. If you're using it more aggressively, you want to dash into their shots, tanking one shot and then putting you on top of them. That would be more likely on a less defensive brawler like Piper or a thrower, some sort of sniper or thrower. If you're using it defensively, you're trying to survive, get a little bit more zone time, or escape. You want to dash backwards, obviously, and you can just use it to survive. It's pretty useful. Definitely one of the best gadgets in the game. It's really hard to die if you use it right. Just don't mistime it and you'll be fine. It's not that hard to use. You'll get better just by using it. There is one thing you can do. If you're stuck against the wall, you can dash into the wall and you'll still get the full immunity time. It's not going to cut it short. It doesn't just do it while you're dashing. No matter what, you always get like half a second or like between half a second and 1 second of immunity, even if you hit the wall. And you'll actually be able to start shooting after you hit the wall with still a bit of immunity. So just know that you don't have to dash and get the full dash to get the full immunity. You'll get it no matter what as soon as you press the button. You can also use the dashes for easy goals. It's almost unstoppable. Just throw it into a wall, or you can throw it off wall from a long distance, but it's going to be fast if you throw it right into a wall. Dash right into it. They won't be able to kill you with the immunity. There's really nothing they can do if you do it right. Make sure you don't kick the ball like right to them. Make sure it's to a wall, nobody's in the way. Then dash, and then you should be able to walk it in or kick it from the minimum distance you have to be away, because you can kick the ball through people about like one tile maybe if you're right next to them. So if you pair it with the dash, it's almost unstoppable, especially if you have speed as well. Max is probably the best goal scorer in the game because of that, other than like Melody or something. Finally, Max does have a hypercharge. Same thing with the super. You want to use it when all your teammates are on the map so they get the buff sent to them. It goes all the way across the map no matter where they are. One important thing is the bottles aren't homing, so if the buff is being sent to you, especially when you're sending it to yourself, if you're holding a direction, you're actually not going to get it. It's not a huge deal for Max in that scenario, but it is helpful to get a little bit of your super back because Max super is so good. So make sure you stand still for a sec so it lets it land on you and you don't dodge the helpful buff. And also, there's a very important tech you can do with your team is, because the bottles are just projectiles and not like homing effects, if your whole team stands on top of each other, each teammate, all 3 buffs will get sent to that one same tile that you're standing on, and then you'll all collect all 3 buffs, meaning each one of your team gets 3/4 of the super. It might be patched, but by the time I'm making it, it's not, and it's really, really overpowered because it also gives people their hyper, and if you pair it with like Colette on Heist or something with a really important hypercharge, it's going to be crazy. So make sure you stand on your team if possible. Obviously, you might be using it and your teammates on the other side of the map, but if you're all close to each other, stand on the same tile, and Max might even be able to get a second hyper super off inside the hypercharge, and then everyone gets even more supers because she'll get 3/4 back from that one stack. Thank you for watching. If you have any like ideas I can do to make the video better, let me know, and if I like it or think it's good, I'll add it to the next guide.